Okay, now that you've figured out the 3 commitments that you want to be able to keep for yourself, remembering that this is all your choice. Remember, if you don't want to do it, that's okay. So, hopefully you wrote down 3 things that you really need to get better at. If you haven't figured out those 3, maybe you'll come up with some as we discuss this. But the next thing I want to talk to you is about consequences. In the last video I mentioned that if you gained 10 pounds because you ate something that was unhealthy, you probably wouldn't eat as many unhealthy things. And I want to suggest to you that sometimes it's those consequences that are so important. And so I want you to think about what consequences you can create for yourself, artificial consequences, that can help you stick to your goals. Okay, these are really effective. But there's about 6 different kinds of consequences, and I want to discuss each one because all of us are going to relate to different kinds of consequences. So think about this. I want you to think about which consequence is going to be uncomfortable, not fun. Okay? The more uncomfortable, the more it's going to drive you to keep your commitment. Okay? So, think about these different types. Number 1, something annoying that you have to give up. So maybe you would have to give up getting your manicure for the week. You'd have to give up not having coffee the next day, or having coffee the next day. You'd have to give up reading your favorite book, or watching your favorite show, or making your call to your favorite person, or sending text messages. There's a whole lot of things that you might value that you can say, I'm going to give that up. Okay, number 2, something that's embarrassing but could be beneficial. So maybe it's you know, I'm going to do 30 sit-ups, or maybe it's you know, you're going to you know, wear a funny hat the next day, and anybody who asks about your funny hat, you have to tell them what you didn't do, how you didn't keep your commitment. Think about you know, what else you could do that would be embarrassing but beneficial. Number 3 is a confession. So maybe you have to report it on Facebook. You have to tell your mom. You have to call and tell your husband. You have to report to your boss that you were late. You have to call your coach and say, you know, this is what I did. Remember, this is something that has to feel very uncomfortable, very annoying to you, like you would never want to do that. Okay? This is, you know, a confession to someone you would rather look good to. Okay? Number 4, we can have consequences that are relational. So maybe, you know, if you don't drink your water, you have to give your husband a back rub that day. You know, if you don't drink your water, then you have to wash your son's car and tell him why you did it. You know, you know, if you didn't get your 3 you committed to 3 days of exercise, 30 minutes of exercise, and you didn't do it, then you have to call somebody that you really don't like to talk to. So just think about what could you do that, you know, relational, people who are around you. Okay, number 5, these are consequences that are second best. So if you miss your cardio, then you have to go run around the block. You know, if you don't drink your water, you have to drink twice as much the next day. You know, if you don't stay on plan today, then tomorrow, you know, you don't get to have any extras. No condiments, no, you know, no extras. Or maybe you have to have all shakes tomorrow and not a variety of choices. Just think about what would be so annoying that would make you stay on plan, okay? Keep that commitment, I mean, this kind of thing can be for anything. Maybe you want to be the kind of person who prays every morning with your family, and if you don't do that, then what consequence are you going to give yourself? So think about that. So we got those 6 kind of consequences. So think about that. Take a few minutes to write down what consequences might fit the promises that you've made, the commitments that you've made. And then I want you to think about who, especially if you're one of those people who likes to be sneaky and thinks that you can make these commitments and then not follow through, you've got to employ your support system, okay? Get a friend, tell your child. That's what I did. I said to my son, okay, sweetheart, I made a commitment to exercise every day for 20 minutes. If I don't do that by 9 o'clock at night, then you and I are going on a bike ride 5 times around the block. You know what? I don't think I could do it. So I've been exercising every day for 20 minutes, whether it's a walk around the block. I did a short bike ride today, but I do not want to have to do those 5 laps. So it's about 5 miles, and I don't know, I'm not such a good bike rider. So anyway, that's a really good one for me. Another one that I made was I would get up in the middle of the night and I would eat. And I had all sorts of excuses, and I tried to find all sorts of reasons to blame it on. But in the end, I told myself that if I got up in the middle of the night and I came downstairs, I didn't even say eat. If I come downstairs and it's not like an emergency for the family, then I have to give up using my headset the next day. Ooh, that's not an easy one for me, especially when I'm coaching all of you guys, and it's so much fun, but holding my head up to that phone is neck-breaking. So anyway, those are a couple of mine that have really worked well. So think about what's important to you. Think who you can employ to help you. Remember, you are in control of your health. Be aggressive in obtaining it and preserving it. Accepting individual responsibility empowers you to take charge of your life, whatever this changing world may throw at you, but do ask for and get help along the way. I want to hear what promises and consequences you've come up with. Please call me or email me or share those with me on our coaching call this week. Have a wonderful day.